Saturn is in itself a very hard planet. Hard in the sense there is no mercy shown. Saturn is the judge, and judge is not to be blamed for your misdoings. His job is simply to be fair and provide justice. In Libra sign, Saturn is more relaxed. So Saturn in 5th house will not delay a woman's progeny. Rather, will provide her with a child and make her more responsible for his or her upbringing. So you see, here the delay is replaced with responsibility. So the ill effects of an exalted Saturn is more and more responsibility in relation to the house it signifies. Bad Saturn means delays. Good Saturn means more responsibilities. So much is the responsibility that the native feels burdened. A woman had Saturn in the 5th house in the Libra sign, and she had Jupiter in the 7th house in Sagittarius sign. So then what happened? She married at the age of 28. She became pregnant at the age of 30, and just after delivery of her first baby boy, she was forced to leave her house within 4 months. Later, she was legally divorced. Now tell me, isn't the 5th house Saturn in Libra responsible for making her a single mom? And only a single mom knows how challenging is the responsibility on her shoulders. So basically, person feels burdened. No mother would feel her child's responsibility as a burden, but still, as a human being, one does feel burdened. So Saturn in Libra sign is like a strict military officer at his favorite place. So he is not going to punish you or being too harsh as he would be when outside at some other place. But he is going to impart all his qualities upon you. He is disciplined. He will make you disciplined. He knows what is responsibility, and so now he will make you realize what is responsibility. So you see, he is practical by nature, so he will now make you practical by nature. So being in Libra, Saturn bestows all of his qualities that Saturn considers to be necessary for the individual's growth. So if the person is ignorant, he may consider these qualities that Saturn wants you to experience as evil or bad. A person is generally found to be ignorant when he or she has a weak Jupiter. But someone who is living with consciousness, he or she would evolve through the process of Saturn's rigorous sessions, leading to a much matured person than he or she was. Always remember, maturity is another name for realization. You have come to the fulfillment of your potential. It has become actual. The seed has blossomed. Maturity has a fragrance. It gives a tremendous beauty to the individual. It gives intelligence. The sharpest possible intelligence comes from maturity. It makes him nothing but love. His action is love. His inaction is love. His life is love. His death is love. He is just a flower of love. Maturity is when you learn to live in the moment. A man of awareness lives his life moment to moment. He is not thinking of his past and he is not worried about the future. He is simply happy to be in this now moment. Ignorant men cannot understand what is good and what is bad for them, and so they end up labeling anything that brings them pain as ill effect or evil. And then they simply miss to realize that the pain, the hardship is not to cause them pain, but to bring them much closer to their self consciousness. This pain is not to make you sad, remember. That's where people go on missing. This pain is just to make you more alert, because people become alert only when the arrow goes deep into their heart and wounds them. But people are ignorant, and so they simply don't get it. They are lost due to their own ignorance. Now, the woman who was divorced had to bear the responsibility of bringing up her son, all by her own efforts. But slowly she reached to a stage where she became an independent woman. So you see, on the outer circumference, an ignorant person may label the effect of Saturn in Libra as ill effect. But a conscious person is perfectly aware that this is the way of Saturn to help the native to evolve and transform into a much better person, a much matured person. Libra Saturn is favorable to the native, and so such a Saturn raise you to new heights in life. If the same Saturn had been of Aries in the fifth, this woman would not have become pregnant so quickly. And now, instead of responsibility, this Aries Saturn frustrates her because she rarely is able to conceive a child. So, here the story changes 360 degrees. You see, here Saturn has no interest to raise you in life, but rather is simply interested to give you more hardships and pain. So Libra Saturn is in reality not a negative placement. You have to see where Jupiter is placed, where Rahu is placed, where Mars is placed, because these three planets rules the stars of Libra. The best place for Saturn is in the star of Jupiter, that is in Vishaka Nakshatra. Here Saturn truly exhales and is so much happy that generally the native with Saturn in Vishaka is more luckier than guys with Saturn in Chitra or Swati Nakshatra. Compared to all three stars or nakshatras, Saturn in Swati gives a bit tough time than otherwise. Ill effect is felt, is experienced by those who rebel against Saturn. What is Saturn? Saturn is truth. The judge favors only the truth. And so, if you are not following the truth, if you are not being truthful to yourself and others, then Libra Saturn also cannot help you. Why people suffer at the hands of Saturn? And the answer is found in the quote of the divine spiritual master Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Maharaj says, it is always the false that makes you suffer. The false desires and fears, the false values and ideas, the false relationships between people. Abandon the false and you are free of pain. Truth makes happy. Truth liberates you. Truth always liberates you. Saturn always liberates you. But since people are not willing to follow the truth, they suffer. And what is suffering? Suffering is mental and not physical. Your mind suffers because you have become the mind. You too suffer. The nature of the mind is to wander. You are not the mind, says Bhagavan Raman Maharshi. But people simply follow their mind. They become the slave of their mind. And then what else can you expect than to suffer? Pain is physical. Suffering is mental. Beyond the mind, there is no suffering. Pain is essential for the survival of the body. But none compels you to suffer. Suffering is due entirely to clinging or resisting. It is a sign of our unwillingness to move on, to flow with life. The message of Libra Saturn is to become real, is to help you realize what needs to be dropped and what needs to be embraced. Here Saturn cares for the native. He wants the native to find balance. Balance is the word. The more he or she finds balance in life, the more is the happiness in life. Follow the truth, find the balance, and Saturn will always remain your friend, a true friend. Meditate.